Hi, welcome back. So I wanted to remind you, so the automatic response system that you are, or the automatic response that you're having is from your past. You have a stimulus, you are pre-wired to behave that way. So when X happens, you are pre-wired to do Y without consciously thinking. You don't stop to consider if there is another way. You don't consider if this is the right way. You behave as though this is the only way there is. There is no other choice than to behave like this. So if you remember the spider that was crawling across the ceiling, if you think about that spider, you are automatically pre-wired to behave that way. So when you see the spider, if you're scared, you don't think, oh my God, look at the spider. What can I do with that? I might kill it because it's annoying me. You're too busy running for the door. If you are not afraid of spiders, if you love spiders, there isn't a choice for you to run, and there isn't a choice for you to stamp on the spider. It's, wow, there's a spider. And if you're not bothered about spiders, well, you're not going to go over and kill it just for the sake of it. What kind of crazy is that? Do you see what I mean? And you're not going to run from it because it's a spider. Why would you be afraid of it? You do not stop to consider the other options. You behave as though you have always behaved without consciously ever thinking about there's going to be another way. So the more you behave a certain way, the more you reinforce that behaviour. So if you was bitten by a dog once, when you see another dog, you're going to be scared of it because you think, oh my God, so you automatically link the two behaviours. And then you think, oh my God, I'm afraid of dogs. So you behave that way, and you continuously behave that way because now you've told yourself, you believe right at the beginning, I am afraid of dogs. Ha! I am afraid of dogs. Therefore, when I see a dog, my biology makes me kick in adrenaline, and it makes me behave a certain way. I run away from the dog, or I freeze, or whatever I'm going to do. So whatever you have learned, the way you've learned to behave, now different people behave, once you've behaved once one way, you are more likely to go that way. And the more times you do that, the more it becomes unconscious, until you get to the point where you're driving down the road and you don't consciously think, oh, I need to stop. You just stop. Sometimes you drive somewhere and then you think to yourself, how did I get here? Because you're busy thinking about other things. It's just unconscious. So you start off, when you learn to do something, you think about it, and the more times you behave that way, the easier it becomes. So until you say, I behave this way, well, when this happens, I behave this way. It's just the way I am. That's it. It's just the way I am. So never do you stop to consider, is there another way? Never do you stop to think, is this the only way? Is this the best way? It is who I am. I behave this way because that's who I am. So if you're thinking about your behaviour then, we're going to do another exercise, but if you behave the way you always behave, if you behave the way you always behave, you're always going to get the same response. So if you are afraid of that person and you behave that way towards that person, then you're always going to get the same response. If you're always angry at that person, the response they're going to give you is the same because they're behaving automatically from their response. You see? So, question. Next question. What behaviour do you want to change? So when you have that stimulus and you behave a certain way, what behaviour do you want to change? And what can you do differently to make that happen? So if you've got to behave a different way, what are you going to do differently? So what behaviour do you need to change? What can you do differently than you do now in order to change? Okay, stop the recording, have a think about it, and I'll see you in the next video.